Welcome to the future with Unity Industrial Collection. You may have heard about Unity from the gaming industry, and it's true that Unity is a leading company in the gaming industry in a sense that almost 70% of the mobile games were built using the Unity platform. Almost 50% of the console games were also built using the Unity platform. But in a larger sense, Unity has transformed and evolved from a gaming company to become the world's leading platform for creating and operating real-time 3D content. So real-time 3D has started in the video game industry, but has since then evolved to 1,000 of companies who are now embracing it. So real-time 3D is really the future in a sense that it's gonna empower virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality scenarios, and it's going to unlock countless possibilities where you can basically create a 3D representation of your product and then immerse yourself and immerse your customers into these experiences through various platforms, going from computers, mobile devices, virtual reality headsets, or mixed and augmented reality applications. So this is a technology that really transforms the product life cycle in a sense that you could use it in the design and prototyping phase. So instead of coming up with real life prototypes, you can just do it using the 3D model. You can also transform your staff training specifically for training that involves things that have some safety hazards, or trainings that involves a lot of steps and a lot of complex maneuvers. You can remodel that, create a digital twin of your solution, and you can get your staff to be trained on this solution using the 3D real-time experience. So you can evolve your product configurations and sales demonstrations. You can come up with better ways to respond to RFPs, where you immerse your customers into your sales demonstration. You can use it in engineering and simulations. You can use it in production and manufacturing, be it if you want to show the scenario of how you're going to build your factory, but actually also how you're going to build the product for your customer. And you can use that 3D model as a demonstration to your customer, and then come up with different iterations on that same model while still keeping the experience digital, instead of every time building a real life product, shipping it to the customer, especially if your product has some physical limitations that make it difficult to ship, for example. If it's 3D, you can iterate so much faster. You can get the customer approval and quickly make the changes. You can also use that for maintenance and field services solutions, for collaboration between different people connecting from different parts of the world. And also you can transform your marketing with this immersive experience that the 3D solutions give you. So this technology is not just to show off or to make something that will wow the customer. It has real cost savings behind it. It has ways to increase the sales, specifically during these COVID times where most of the things have to happen remotely. So you could increase your sales by giving an immersive experience to your customers using the 3D models. You can get faster time to market, specifically in industries where you have to do a lot of engineering, you have to do a lot of changes, and this makes it so much quicker to go to market. And then you can improve your product margins because you're going to come up with something really tailored to what your customer wants at the lowest production cost and at the lowest prototyping cost. So you can really reimagine every step of your customer experience or even every step of your product lifecycle with real-time 3D, in a sense that you will create, you will build, and you will monetize with real-time 3D, starting with the design phase and evolving to the engineering and simulation, production and manufacturing, sales and marketing, and also service and operations. And I'm going to show you examples of how you can transform the different stages with real life customer stories and real life use cases. So for example, at the design stage, you can really have an experience-based design, and you can get this immersive collaboration and rapid iteration and transform the way you really develop products. So you can see here that with a VR mockup, this company has made the time to market like that, transformed the way they design the product. So building helicopters used to take 5 to 7 years, because every time you have to build a real life prototype, show it to the customers, and then even before that, you have to do a lot of tests. Right now, they moved and they improved the time to market from 5 to 7 years to just 6 months because of the digital 3D modeling that enables the engineers to really work on the prototype and to get fast and accurate feedback. You can also here see that with the holistic human-machine interface that Continental here developed, they can really establish a dialogue between people and driverless vehicles and come up with ways to facilitate this concept to customers by testing it in a 3D model. You also see here Honda, where the Honda engineers became much more efficient to come up with new, beautiful insights about their 3D models. While they used to just show pictures before, they used to show 3D models, but it takes a lot of time to develop them. But with the Unity platform, they could come up with these design in just one day, and they could give an immersive experience to their managers, which enables them to get the business cases approved by the management and make the management see things in an immersive way and evaluate the potential of a particular solution so much quicker. You can also see here that with Siemens, they basically turn rapidly designs into prototypes using virtual reality in just 5 minutes, while this used to take half a day before with other solutions. Here with Microsoft HoloLens, you can basically simulate the fluid dynamics and understand the impacts of changes on the engineering side for the estimating the efficiencies and coming up with changes and improving the product almost in real time. Also at the engineering and simulation stage, this really helps with things like virtual commissioning, system level simulation, and autonomous system development. And you can see here where Audi basically created the digital twin of an urban area, and they use this digital twin to do real tests of their autonomous vehicles. You can also see that BMW is also using this in a similar way for their driverless vehicles. And basically any BMW car that comes up to the market, 95% of the tests are being done in a virtual environment, and just the other 5% are happening in real life. So this really helps you evaluate millions of combinations of factors and helps you get your product to market so much faster and simplify the way to do the testing for a specific vehicle. Also, in terms of robotics, robotics are very complex engineering projects that cost a lot of money. So when you're prototyping on a 3D model, this really makes you save time and makes you reduce the cost and improve the time to market for your robotics projects. Also, if you are building a factory, you could basically commission a physical factory and get it to a 3D model and help your customer really see how the factory will be looking like, and make the changes before you ship the materials or you ship the machines to the factory. Here is also the same thing. So you have here components that are very difficult to ship overseas, and because of the size, because of the complexity, because of uh, the way these things are built with 3D technology, helps the customer decide on the prototype before moving to the manufacturing stage. So this saves a lot of money and saves a lot of unnecessary costs. Also, when it comes to the production and manufacturing, you could build a digital factory, you could get the human machine interactions so much better, but also you can transform the training. Here you can see the application of a training also at Continental company, where they use virtual reality and augmented reality and help them manipulate very complex products. But the 3D helps them get these sketches and shorten the processing time and reduce the human error, because they will be trained virtually first before moving to the real life scenario for these products. Also here, a lot of companies are seeing reduction in employee training time, because augmented reality helps them really get more efficient trainings. The same thing here with Lockheed Martin, where they reduced the timing for the training by 85%, and they ensure precision, accuracy, consistency, and quality control with this mixed reality deployment. So the trainee will be wearing a device that will help him augment the reality of what he's seeing, and it will show him steps to learn, and this will help improve the learning curve and reduce the errors and improve the precision for any kind of manufacturing system you're going through. Renault here, they unlocked an easy way to simulate the production line in advance, so they can get their engineers to really come up with the best production line and the most efficient one before going ahead and building it in the physical world. Also here you can see that UPS, which has facilities that have a huge flow of packages, 400,000 packages per hour. So you could really simulate this fast-paced environment to your employees in 3D and get your employees to really understand how the process goes and understand how they can learn and how they can do their jobs effectively without impacting your production line in real life. So you could get this experiences in the digital world with 3D real time and improve the time to market and improve your training by improve your training and get it so much more effective. Also, virtual reality and augmented reality really transform the sales and marketing experience with product configurations, but also with the immersive customer experience that you see a lot in the car industry. So here, you could just come up with a 3D iOS application that will really give the customer a feel of the product and a feel of the details related to the solution you're selling. Here, this specific company is involved in the airbag industry and some components related to the car industry. So here, the customer could really see all the details of the product. He could zoom in and even get to the schematics of each component with this immersive experience. So when you have your sales team going to customers with just an iPad and an iOS application and showing this to the customer is so much easier than taking these airbags with you and showing them to the customers. So this can really transform the way you present your solutions to the customers. Also here, due to COVID, a lot of events moved from physical trade shows to virtual platforms. And you could see here a great way to do a digital event while trying to give the customer an immersive experience. The car industry, with the 3D car configurators, you could change the colors, you could change the wheels, you could change and add some components here and there. So this is one of the ways 3D car and Unity is used in the car industry. You could also change the way you interact with your customers by teaching them DIY skills before they even come to your, for example, your clinic here. So you could teach them things to learn on their own by leveraging this virtual experience with, for example, an iOS application you will give them and a virtual headset they will wear, and they will be able to interact with your product and to understand your procedures before coming to your offices. Also here, this is a company that manufactures 3D printers. Here they can really show the customer a real feel of the 3D printer and a real feel of where they could put it in their office, what's the height, and give them like an almost real experience of where it's gonna be positioned and what's the height, and then interact with the different features of the printer, zoom in and see the different buttons and see how the printer could execute a 3D printing job. Also, when it comes to services and operations, with IoT-based experiences, with augmented reality, assisted maintenance, interactive training. So here, ABB really transformed the way they get their team to operate the service procedures with augmented reality. As you know, with ABB, they are dealing with very complex products and very complex set of procedures. So with augmented reality, they could really make sure that no mistakes will happen, and they can really reduce the time and the curve of learning for their employees. Same thing here with another implementation of virtual reality. When dealing with very complex setups, you could improve the training, you can improve the monitoring capabilities of a factory, for example, and increase the safety features and the safety standards by moving to a digital experience, as you can see here on the screen. Same thing with training here, with things related to the aircraft industry. So many steps have to happen, a sequence of very detailed and precise work that has to happen, could be automated and could be done much more effectively if the employee is trained on a 3D system first before going to do things in reality. So plenty of use cases, and this is one of the very interesting use cases where doctors could really practice their surgical skills on something true to life model of an abdomen here, and they could really get to practice in a much more effective way than doing it in real life scenario where there are a lot of constraints related to the bodies they have to work with. So they could get trained and understand the anatomy of the body, understand what they need to do before doing it on a live person. So there are limitless and countless possibilities to use 3D in almost any kind of sector.